if it does take like a little longer or anything, there are certain slides that I can go ahead and skip over, but also too, I'm more than happy to share the slides with you all as well as a PDF along with the resources.
Okay, we just want to make sure we have time at the end of your presentation for questions. If there are any questions?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that should
I
be fine.
anticipate 15 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
And you should have the presenting privileges now.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and try to share my presentation.
I don't know what's happening, but my video isn't showing and I can't get on my phone. I don't know. Are you seeing me?
No.
I don't know what's happening.
How are you doing, Rachel? You see the share button down below?
Yeah. Hold on just 1 second. There we go. Okay. Just pulling up the presentation there. Perfect. Okay. Okay, here it is. Share. Okay. Everyone should be able to see my presentation. Is everyone able to see it?
I'm seeing it.
Yes.
Okay. I know someone mentioned that they were having video issues. Are you able to see it as well, even though with the video issues?
I'm seeing. I can see you guys. My video isn't showing.
I'm sharing for a little bit. Okay, so now that I know that's working.
Okay, I'm going to start recording and then the
Sean,
cheers.
sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just before you
Yeah,
start recording, do we have a second presenter today?
Me?
Do we have a second presenter today?
He hasn't joined, and he was really just going to introduce himself and then hand it over to Rachel. So we will see him if he pops on the screen. He said he would try. Oh, there he is. Mr. Lastique has just joined us.
Oh, yeah.
And
before we begin, is it possible that I can just know what the agenda is for today? Would it just be that I'll be introduced and then going through my presentation, and then from there questions afterwards, or is there anything else along with the agenda?
no, that's really going to be it. The co-chairs will introduce themselves and then introduce Mr. Lastique, and then kind of talk a little bit about what this is about, our Lunch and Learn series, and then it'll be your show.
Okay, Great, thank you.
And then the Q&A at the end. So on that note, I'm going to hit the record button. And like I said, this is going to live on the Community Board 14 website as an ongoing resource with the rest of the segments of this series. So with that, we are recording. Happy New Year and welcome everybody. Co-chairs Yvette Claire-Jean and Florencia Changacheta, take it away.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to our first health oriented Lunch and Learn series. We're doing this in honor and in memory of our esteemed Dwayne Joseph, who was a champion for the youth. And today's topic will be diabetes prevention. We hope that with the information provided, that it will reduce the disparities within our BIPOC community or the northern section of our community. Thank you. And my name is Florencia Changajita, and I'll turn it over to my co-chair, Miss Yvette Claire-Jean.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that this series will be very informative, not only to be able to help yourself, but your family members and members of your community. Today, we are joined by two wonderful presenters who will be speaking to us on diabetes. I would like to introduce Ronald Listique, who will be giving an overview of today's presentation and introducing us to our presenter. Mr. Listique.
Hey, good morning, all. Happy New Year. We at Kings County, we pride ourselves in helping our patients and our community to support and encourage, a healthy lifestyle. In doing so, we have linked with the CDC and my good friend. I call her friend now because I call her all the time. But definitely a counterpart, who helped us facilitate the National Diabetes Prevention Program, the NDPP, here at Kings County. And what we do, we offer 26 courses on ways to help our patients prevent and maintain their pre-diabetic numbers. In doing so, we help them. We don't. What I first learned when I first came here is that we're not instructors. We're not teachers to them. We're just here to coach them to a healthier lifestyle. We can't force them into this way of living. So we've coached them, and we had our graduation this end of this year of 2023, and we actually had a graduation group of, I believe, almost 25. I mean, it was about 25, some that can show, but it's a year course and it's very intense. It's something that we have to have commitment with our patients and a very good communication with our patients because it is 26 courses and it stretches out through the course of a year. But it's very informative. We actually help them, create logs for their food intake. And encourage them to take, at least 150 extra minutes of extra activities, whether it be exercising, walking, doing extra things around the house, getting off on the bus stop, a stop or two ahead of your stop and walking those and then adding those minutes up because that also helps create a healthier lifestyle. And with that, we also offer different other services. We have like a full service here. We do the National Diabetes Prevention Program. We have a diabetes management program for those that do have type 2 diabetes. We have a diabetes management course that we offer them. We also have for those that may need a pick me up or because they go through these programs, but then what happens after that? So after that, we have pick-me-up courses, which is our healthy lifestyle 30-minute small bite classes. We have a gym that we help facilitate our patients in getting into the habit of, working out, and we monitor them and their workout plan. And then we have cooking classes, tutorials that we have in plant-based recipes that we offer. So we offer a number of things. Number of services to our patients in our community. And If you have anyone that's interested in joining the King County family, you can always send them my way. And I'd like to turn over the floor to Ms. Lima, who can explain more about the CDC program and how she helped me and Kings County and other facilities have such programs to run. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that's such a well-rounded information about just the small work that we do. And as Ronald mentioned, I'll go ahead and go into speaking more about my team, the National Diabetes Prevention Program, and speak about some resources that are available to you to learn more about the program and also to share with family and friends that may be interested in joining a lifestyle change program. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and everyone should be able to see my screen. So once again, thank you so much for taking the time to have me speak today on the National Diabetes Prevention Program. My name is Rachel Lima, and I'm a program manager here at the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. And today I'll just go over speaking about the National Diabetes Prevention Program and also the eligibility requirements for the program and just the benefits of the program. And as Ronald mentioned, this program is implemented in different organizations, hospitals, health systems, small practices, CBOs, and faith-based organizations. And we're here to just ensure that individuals that are interested in joining the program, which you'll hear more about, know more about the information about this year-long program. So for today's agenda, we'll go into speaking about, I'll introduce the Bureau of Equitable Health System, which is the bureau that the Clinical Community Program Linkages team, which is a team that I sit on, is part of. We'll go into speaking about prediabetes, then go into the National Diabetes Prevention Program and speaking about different steps of how to get started, and then conclude with the resources that will be provided to you to learn more about the program and ways that you can prevent type 2 diabetes. So before I begin, just some housekeeping reminders. Just please making sure that you mute yourself if you're not speaking at any point in time. If there is a question that you have or a comment, just please put it in the chat. And also too, we will have time at the end to ask any questions, so a Q&A section on any of the information that was shared today. Now I'll go into speaking more about the Bureau of Equitable Health Systems. So the Bureau of Equitable Health System was founded back in 2005 with a mission to help healthcare providers in New York City adapt electronic health records. And the mission for this was that to promote and support an NYC healthcare system that delivers high quality care, and also to prevent and mitigate the burden of chronic disease for all New Yorkers. And we have been successful with doing that, with currently working with 26,000 providers and representing 1,800 practices throughout New York City. So as I mentioned before, I do sit on the Clinical Community Program Linkages team that is part of DEHS, and I'll go ahead and speak more about the team and the work that we do. So here is my beautiful team members, and all of us, we do come with different expertise, but all of us are well equipped and have great knowledge when it comes to the National Diabetes Prevention Program. And for myself, I am a master trainer for the National Diabetes Prevention Program, meaning that I received training from Temple University, and I have the training to be able to train anyone that are interested in becoming a lifestyle coach. And earlier, when during the introduction, Ronald did mention that there are lifestyle coaches that are the ones that are delivering the program. So for anyone that is interested, we do have the training set different times during the year where individuals, and I'll speak more about the type of individuals who are lifestyle coaches that can be able to become a lifestyle coach and deliver the National Diabetes Prevention Program. So a little bit about my team, the Clinical Community Program Linkages team, also known as the CCPL team. The CCPL team provides support to clinical and community organizations, including work sites, with offering evidence-based chronic disease prevention and management programs. The support comes in different forms. We collaborate with clinical and community partners to increase program referrals, helping to build capacity for workshops through workforce development, such as training lifestyle coaches, and also providing advanced training for them as well as they continue to deliver the National Diabetes Prevention Workshop at their organization. And also we help with increasing patient engagement with lifestyle change programs by offering multiple language options, delivery modes, and expanding the number of organizations delivering these programs throughout New York City. So as I mentioned before, the CCPL team, we do provide support on different evidence-based intervention programs, the National Diabetes Program being one of them, along with the Diabetes Self-Management Program and the Chronic Disease Self-Management Program. But for the purposes of today's presentation, we'll focus on the National Diabetes Prevention Program. And if you're interested in learning more about the other suites of programs that we provide, I'm more than happy to share those resources with you after today's presentation. So before we can dive into the National Diabetes Prevention Program, we first have to speak about prediabetes. And people with prediabetes have blood sugar higher than normal, but not as high to be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And I'll speak more about prediabetes and more about that and how it correlates with the National Diabetes Prevention Program. So as I mentioned before, prediabetes, people with prediabetes have blood sugar levels higher than normal, but not quite high enough to be called type 2 diabetes. The problem with prediabetes is that individuals with prediabetes are more likely to develop type 2 diabetes within 5 years. However, there are steps that can be put in place and steps that individuals can take in order to prevent them from getting type 2 diabetes. And this is where the National Diabetes Prevention Program comes into play. So here is an infographic that shows an outline to get a more better understanding of what prediabetes is. So here on the left-hand side, we have a chart that has prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, and normal. So here we see where prediabetes falls from normal and type 2 diabetes. And once again, prediabetes increase your risk for type 2 diabetes, as mentioned, heart disease, and stroke. And the National Diabetes Prevention Program, the purpose of the program is to help individuals adapt a healthier lifestyle and also eating healthy and being more physically active. And this also can cut their risk from getting type 2 diabetes in half. So now looking at the prevalence of prediabetes in New York City among adults. So as of 2020, 1 in 8 adults are reported being diagnosed with prediabetes. And New York State estimates that 12.8% of New Yorkers in New York City have reported being diagnosed in prediabetes in 2020. So here we see that, this 1 in 8 people can be diagnosed with prediabetes. And there are some individuals that don't even know that they are diagnosed with prediabetes, maybe because they may have not gone to their doctor to do their blood work or may not understand the results when they do receive it from their doctor. So before we can speak about prediabetes, we also have to explore diabetes. And right here, I have just where diabetes falls within the chronic diseases in New York City. And as you can see, diabetes is number 3, and it falls within the top 5 of chronic conditions within New York City. So just being mindful of just how high the prevalence rate is, not only for prediabetes, but also diabetes as well. So now we'll go into the National Diabetes Prevention Program and learning more about that. So the National Diabetes Prevention Program is a lifestyle change prevention program recognized by CDC. It is a year-long program, and I know that when it's a year-long program, Many people may be skeptical about it, but the program is structured in a different way. It is a year-long program, but individuals do meet on a weekly basis, then they transition to bi-weekly, then monthly. And these sessions are small group sessions for participants at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And the goals of the program is to help individuals with modest weight loss and increase physical activity minutes. And also, there has been research shown that this program is almost twice as effective as taking metformin, and it helps reduce the risk of diabetes by 58% for individuals that do participate in the program. So here are the goals that the CDC has outlined for the National Diabetes Prevention Program. As mentioned, the goal is for participants to lose 5 to 7% of their starting body weight, increase their physical activity minutes by 150 minutes per week, and most importantly, learning how to adopt a healthy lifestyle. And they do this by learning through how to eat healthy, cooking healthy through a curriculum that is designed by CDC that speaks about various topics, not only just healthy eating, but different topics that they can explore that can cause an impact on their weight or physical activities that they may be able to do throughout the week. And I have a snapshot of that in the upcoming slides to see the different topics that are discussed during these sessions. So here we have the program eligibility for individuals who are interested in joining the National Diabetes Prevention Program. So first and foremost, individuals must be 18 years or older and also have a BMI of 25 or greater. And during the time of enrolling in the program, the participant cannot be diagnosed with type 1 or type 2 diabetes. So it's very important that, individuals are able to speak with their doctors to see if where they are when it comes to their A1C levels. And most importantly, for anyone that is expecting, they cannot join this program. And we do understand things happen. For example, if there's a woman that is joining the program and throughout the course of them participating in the program, they find out that they are expecting, unfortunately, they won't be able to continue the program. Along with meeting all of these criteria on top, they also have to meet one of the following criteria on the bottom here. So doing a blood test that diagnosed you with prediabetes, and this is self-reported. So say, for example, if an individual said, I went to my doctor 6 months ago and they did my blood work and they said that my A1C was in the prediabetes range, that is one of the qualifications that puts them in and being eligible to join the program. The second qualification is for a woman, if at any point in time during your life you were pregnant and you were diagnosed with gestational diabetes, that is something that can also be self-reported. There's no documentation that has to be given to the lifestyle coach that also qualifies that. And the final one is a high-risk result on the prediabetes risk test, which I will show on the next slide. So if you score 5 or above on the risk test, this also meets one of these criteria on the bottom to be eligible to join the program. So here is a snapshot of the risk test. The risk test is very, very straightforward. It speaks about some kind of historical information from your family. So 7 questions asking you, how old are you? Are you man or woman? If you are a woman, have you been diagnosed with gestational diabetes? Do you have a mother, father, sister, or brother with diabetes? Have you ever been diagnosed with high blood pressure? 6, are you physically active? And what is your weight category? And this is a test that anyone can do. And based on the points that you calculate, if your risk score is 5 or above, it states that you are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And usually this is something that, I have done in different trainings and among different organizations to be able to just see where you're at. And if all of you would like to be able to take the test for yourselves, it's also a great tool just to be able to see where you're at with this. And once again, as I mentioned before, I'm more than happy to share this resource of where this risk test can be found. Now we'll go into delivering the national DPP. So the National Diabetes Prevention Workshops are non-didactic and small work groups. They're small workshops. Workshops led by CDC certified lifestyle coaches. As I mentioned before, these coaches, they're trained by a master trainer, and they go through 4 to 5 day training that helps them understand not only about the program and the structure of the program, but also to how to be able to deliver the program. It's very important that the coaches know that they're not teaching the participants, they're coaching. And the participants that are part of the class are the ones that are the experts when it comes to their lifestyle. And the curriculum also is offered in Spanish, Haitian Creole, Korean, Bengali, French, Russian, and Urdu. And here, these pictures here, are pictures from one of our workshops that is delivered by Ms. Lucette, who is one of our lifestyle coaches that has been delivering workshops for the past 5-6 years and have played a pivotal role with delivering the workshops to individuals who do speak Haitian Creole. And here is a snapshot of the different topics that are presented and are delivered during the National DPP sessions. So here we have the introduction to the program, and followed by getting active, tracking your activity, learning how to track your food. But most importantly, there are other topics that are discussed, such as managing stress, how to cope with triggers, taking charge of your thoughts, and getting support. So this is just a few snapshots of different topics that are discussed. They do focus on healthy eating and different ways to prevent type 2 diabetes, but also looking at other factors that does cause an impact when it comes to preventing type 2 diabetes. And as I mentioned before, this is delivered by the Lifestyle Coach. This is an approved curriculum by CDC. And when it does come to the lifestyle coaches can be anyone from the community. It can be an RN, a nurse. It doesn't necessarily have to be a medical provider. It can be anyone that is passionate about the work, about spreading the awareness, about prediabetes awareness and prevention, and trying to find different ways to share this information to their community. So now we're going to go and transition into the DPRP, also known as the Diabetes Prevention Recognition Program Standards and Operating Procedures. And this is the arm to the National Diabetes Prevention Program. It's the protocol that lifestyle coaches follow to ensure that they're delivering the program effectively and efficiently based on CDC's guidelines and provisions. So the DPRP provides information to people at high risk for type 2 diabetes. There are healthcare providers and payers about the location and performance of organizations offering the National DPP lifestyle change through various delivery modes. And the program is delivered in 4 modes: in-person, online, distance learning, and combination. And the upcoming slides will speak about the different delivery modes. So the 3 main goals for the DPRP is to ensure program quality, fidelity to specific evidence, and broad use of the National DPP Lifestyle Change Program throughout the United States. Develop and maintain a registry of organizations that are recognized for their ability to deliver an effective National PPP Lifestyle Change Program to people at high risk of type 2 diabetes, and also to provide technical assistance to organization and staff in effective program delivery and in problem solving to achieve and maintain recognition status. So as I mentioned before, the National DPP is delivered in 4 delivery modes, and we have them here: in person, online, distance learning, and combination. In person is when the National DPP workshops are delivered 100% in person by trained lifestyle coaches, and participants must be physically present during the session. Online delivery is when the National DPP workshops are delivered 100% online for all participants, and participants log in to the course via computer, tablet, or phone. And the best way that I can describe the online, imagine you going on a Blackboard during as a college student, or a platform similar to that where the professor puts the information there and you have a certain time to review the information. So that's the format of online. Distance learning is the National DPP delivered 100% by trained lifestyle coaches via remote classroom or telehealth, such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or WebEx. Coaches provide live delivery from one location and participants call in or video conference from another location. And combination is a combination of any of the previously defined delivery modes for each participant by the trained lifestyle coach. So now that we've spoken about the National Diabetes Prevention Program, the way that the program is delivered, and also learning the importance of the program, now I will be able to speak more about the support from the CCPL team that we provide, the CDC Diabetes Prevention Recognition Program, and the National Customer Service Center. And these are different entities that you can receive support from if you're interested in learning more about the next steps in order to become to be able to deliver the National Diabetes Prevention Program. And the technical support that the CCPL team does provide includes applying to become a DPRP recognized organization, training anyone that's interested in becoming a lifestyle coach, and learning different ways of, if you're not able to do either one, but learning ways how you can be able to support, whether if it's giving, sending referrals, or being able to bring awareness about diabetes prevention. So now that we spoke about the National Diabetes Prevention Program, these are different ways how you can go ahead and get started. If an organization is interested, or anyone is interested in maybe implementing the National DPP, whether if it's at their church, or if they are interested in applying this program, implementing this program at their own organization where they work, you know, assessing the organization's capacity. As much as just like any program, you know, it does take steps to understand the capacity about the different individuals that will be in place to be able to help out with implementing and delivering the workshop. The readiness, if there are any coaches or anyone that's interested in being coaches, how ready are them to be able to deliver the workshop? And I know that with delivering, it does require some public speaking. So being able to feel comfortable public speaking in front of the participants, and also understanding the DPRP, and most importantly, the training for the lifestyle coaches. As I mentioned before, the training for the lifestyle coaches is a 5-day training, and it is required that if an individual is interested, they do complete the training for the full 5 days. And furthermore, once an organization or an individual is interested and they apply to become a DPRP recognized organization, and they want to see different ways that they can receive reimbursement, becoming a New York State Medicaid DPP supplier or a Medicare DPP supplier is one of the ways that they can also find different ways to get reimbursement. And as I mentioned before, if you may not be ready to become a lifestyle coach, or maybe the organization that you work with is not ready to become a DPRP recognized organization, there are other ways that you can get involved by referring a patient or clients to other workshops, and also, most importantly, raising awareness about prediabetes. So now we'll go into different resources on how to get started. So here, as I mentioned before, the CDC, this is a CDC recognized program. So CDC has much information about the National Diabetes Prevention Program, and the National DPP Customer Service page is an extension of that does give opportunity not only for lifestyle coaches to see updated resources, but also anyone else that's interested in learning more about the National Diabetes Prevention Program to learn more about the program implementation and the logistics of the National Diabetes Prevention Program. Then we also have how to find a workshop near you. So on Compass, which is a portal that you will be able to find where are the nearest National DPP workshops that are near your area, and not just only the National Diabetes Prevention Workshops, but other lifestyle change programs that may be offered by other organizations within your area. And when you do go on the website, you have the option to put your zip code or any zip code and expand the miles. If you want to look within 5 miles or 10 miles within the zip code area, you'll be able to see the different programs and the different filters that are available to you. Also here, I have provided some resources regarding preventing type 2 diabetes from the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, and also some nutrition tips on different ways that you can implement healthy eating in your day-to-day to help prevent type 2 diabetes. So this is the end of our presentation. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's presentation, and I will go ahead and take any questions that anyone has regarding the National Diabetes Prevention Program.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for that informative presentation. Does anyone have any questions? If you have any questions, please use the raise hand feature. Chair Joanne Brown.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to thank our presenters for coming here and allowing us to not only have the lunch and learn now, but to be able to archive it on our website for future use. I'm a big fan of the National Diabetes Prevention Program. I'm a registered dietitian. I'm also a CDC lifestyle coach, and I'm a certified diabetes care and education specialist. So I was really, in the spirit of what we were trying to do here, definitely wanted to get you as our first presentation. So my question is for both you, Ms. Lemer, and Mr. Lastique. I wanted to talk about insurance and how your participants, what is expected, what forms of insurance are taken, and I wanted to also highlight specifically how the Kings County Wellness Center is taking reimbursement for patients to go into this program, so that people watching this understand that it is accessible to them.
Yes. Okay, so I can go ahead and just give a general overview and just general response in terms of that. When it comes to reimbursement and billing, for every organization it's different. Every organization has different billing structures when it comes to just reimbursement for different lifestyle change programs. I cannot speak to Kings County, but I will say that for every organization it's different, and for anyone that's interested in learning more about the billing process, that if they do have a finance person or anyone that's in the billing department, they'll be able to speak more about that and be able to highlight that. But there are some, I know that there are a few commercial organizations that do provide like reimbursement, but for now, what we are doing, the team that I work on, what we are doing is trying to help a lot of organizations and individuals become Medicare and Medicaid DPP suppliers. Since that process is already fleshed out, there has been presentation and resources for that, and I'm more than happy to share that with everyone here on the call today as well. But when in terms of commercial insurance, it's not one size fits all. It all depends on the organization and how they have their billing structure and how that looks like. And I'm not sure if Ronald is still on, if he can speak on that in terms.
I'm sorry, he had to step away for another meeting, but we can try to get that information from him and post it with this when we post the video.
Okay.
And then I just had one follow-up question. In New York City, are you seeing that most programs are a cohort, or some programs actually on a rolling basis, like let's say every 6 months another program is started, so you have 2 programs going at once? Because I just would like our viewers to know, if there is a class that's already in session, do they have to wait 9 months to join the next class?
Yeah, that's a very great question. And I can only speak for the National Diabetes Prevention Program. I'm not sure about what other programs, what are the format, but in terms of the National Diabetes Prevention Program, during the presentation, I spoke about capacity. So it really depends on the organization and the capacity and the bandwidth that they have. So, for example, for a lot of organizations, for right now, they may only have 2 lifestyle coaches. And those, as you know, the lifestyle coaches, they're not only maybe someone from the community, but they may be an RN or a doctor that's taking the time out of their regular day-to-day to be able to deliver the workshop. So maybe the bandwidth in terms of when the next workshop will be, maybe it will be in the next 6 months, just because they may not have that much lifestyle coaches on staff. But it varies between different organizations and their bandwidth and the number of lifestyle coaches they have to deliver. So for one of the resources, it does, I do have a Find a Workshop. So being able to share that and looking at the different workshops that are in your area, whether if you type in your zip code is 11203 or 11225, looking at that to see the different organizations that are delivering the workshop. And within that information, there's information of you can reach out to whoever the lifestyle coach is or the admin contact that's listed there. And you can reach out and say, hey, I'm interested. I see here on Compass you're having a workshop. When will it be starting, or when will be the next workshop if this one started already? And they'll be able to share that information. And also too, on the National DPP Registry, we have a list of all the workshops that are delivering within the United States. So for example, as I mentioned, there are a lot of organizations that are DPRP recognized. So the registry is able to tell you within the United States all the places that are CDC recognized. And when you filter down to New York, you'll be able to filter down from the 5 boroughs. So for example, Brooklyn, you'll be able to see all the organizations within Brooklyn that are CDC recognized, and you'll be able to see there's more indication on the registry that says if they're more about their recognition, and there usually tells you who are they delivering the workshop to. Is it private and employees, or is it open to the public? And for those that are open to the general public, they have more contact information to who you can reach out to. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Ms. Neva. Do we have any additional questions? Sean Campbell?
I always get so excited when we have such a valuable presentation, not just for the benefit of what you're bringing with us today, but thinking ahead and knowing that we'll have a partnership in the future. And on that note, you know, we'll make sure we stay in touch and include you in our nonprofit roundtable in the spring. And that's really leads into my question about how you are working. You talked about working with nonprofit organizations. How are you expanding your own network? And do you feel like you have the capacity to reach as many organizations that would be able to utilize the programs and services and extend them out further?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, I spoke about a little bit about BHS and the work that we do. So with the starting of BHS, we focused on primary care providers. And from there, we were able to kind of start that connection with reaching out with the different services along with chronic disease prevention and management. And as time go on, that expansion of our work continues to expand throughout New York City. And we know that there are some organizations that we may not know about, some organizations that may have combined with another organization that's interested in. So we look towards our resources that we currently are connected with, but also to the community. So for example, for you all, if you are interested in implementing the National Diabetes Prevention Program, you would be able to come to us and say, hey, you know, the CCPL team, we're interested in not only learning more, but how can we make an impact with the community and share this information? So we try our best to not only just connect with the organizations that we currently work with, but also to find different ways and different avenues to be able to bring awareness. And we do that through worksite wellness. When we have community events, we try our best to do blast emails with other organizations. And usually too, a lot of the lifestyle coaches are the ones that kind of help us because they are the ones that are on the ground in the community and letting us know, like, hey, you know, I know this parish, you know, this they're interested in doing this, or I know this small practice in Canarsie, the doctor's really passionate about diabetes prevention and he wants to put this program. So we tried different ways to kind of throw our net out there within the New York City, the 5 boroughs, to see what is out there, but also to always continue to participate in different health fairs, different events, to bring awareness, because I know that as much as we know about prediabetes, a lot of people don't know this information, or a lot of people don't know this information is free. They think that, you know, it's something that has to be through their insurance or something that they have to pay for. So that's something that's very important that we're trying to hone in, that, you know, if you want to be part of the National Diabetes Prevention Program and you meet the eligible requirements, this is not something that will charge your insurance. This is not something that you would have to pay for. And in no way, whether it's any organization, they shouldn't be charging you to participate in this program, because this program is free.
Thank you. Are there any
You're
additional questions? Ms. Changa-Jada?
You're
Ms.
muted,
Changa-Jada, you're
Florencia.
muted.
Sorry, I was just saying thank you for pointing out that it's free and that they shouldn't be charged, and that I was going to yield the floor to Detective Mosley.
Hi, everyone. I just have one question. Would you be able to table at our National Night Out this year?
I apologize. Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Would you be able to table at our National Night Out this summer?
Oh, I can't give a definite answer. I would have to speak to my manager, but but I will share my contact information. I do have a slide, so I will keep the slide up, but you can get my contact information and just share the information about what the night out entails. What does that look like? And I'll share with my manager, and she'll be able to let me know like what the next steps that we would have to take.
Okay,
but I don't think that should be an issue.
Okay, it's not till August though, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll give it a few minutes in case anyone else has any questions, and they can use the raise hand feature.
And also too, I will go in the chat to, if it's okay, just to, or I can actually pull it up. So I'm gonna reshare my screen, and the last slide is my contact information. So I'll go ahead and share that. So I have my contact information and the team's email. I would say it's best to like contact me, because sometimes we may miss the your email if you do email out to the team's emails. But you can have my contact information. I usually respond by end of day, depending on the time that you do reach out, but you will always get a response from me within 24 hours. So here is the contact information. Once again, my name is Rachel Lima. I'm a program manager, and here is my email address. It's R as in rabbit, Lima, my last name, at healthnyc.gov. And for the team's email, it is EBI_referrals@health.nyc.gov. So I'll just give folks a few more moments to just copy this down. And as I mentioned before, I will be just sharing the slide deck as well. So you can have that for your reference as well.
Great. And then as people are copying that down, because we did ask you to rush through to leave time for Q&A, if there aren't any additional questions, if there's anything else that you want to throw in or add to the presentation, any other resources, there is some more time left, and you're welcome to do that.
Great, thank you. I just want to just say that, you know, in terms of like pre-diabetes and just the National Diabetes Prevention Program, I myself have been a master trainer for about 3 years now, and I have that opportunity to be able to not only deliver the workshop myself, but also provide technical support. And I know one thing that many people kind of give pushback on is when it comes to just a year-long program. And as I mentioned before, the program, and I will share the resource with this as well, the program is a year long, but the way that the program is broken down, it doesn't make it seem like it is a year. And a lot of the participants at the beginning, they're hesitant about their goals and what they want to change, but we know that with any change, it doesn't happen overnight. And with the National Diabetes Prevention Program, we do start off with 16 weeks of weekly sessions, followed by bi-weekly sessions. So we have 4 bi-weekly sessions, then transitioning to 6 monthly sessions, and that all makes up the year. So within that, as we approach the bi-weekly sessions, participants are able to have a great relationship, not only with the lifestyle coach, but also with each other, because they are the ones that are the experts. They are the ones that are sharing their experiences, their health journey, and just different antidotes that they have for each other. And in the end, for anyone that does participate, you'll notice that everyone ends up being very supportive to each other. And I know that during the pandemic, the program for the organizations that were able to deliver the program, they spoke a lot about that, the importance of the program, especially during the pandemic. And as you know, many people were indoors during the pandemic. Many individuals were not able to go outside or communicate with their own family, and just being part of a workshop, something like this, was that motivation that gave a lot of people not only to just have someone to lean on, but just focusing on their health goals. So that was something that is a benefit and continues to be a benefit to anyone that does join the program. And the takeaway from all of this is that when it comes to just pre-diabetes and bringing awareness, that it's not one size fit all, and everyone has their own story, but the goal of it is that we're helping individuals adapt a healthier lifestyle and doing that the way that they see fit, and just being a support to them.
Ms. Chingajada?
Yes, so Ms. Salima, what kind of classes do you do? Do you do online, in person, or distance learning, or a combination?
Yeah, so here at the ZOHMH, we have done in-person and distance learning, and distance learning was more implemented during the pandemic. A lot of the organizations that I help to support have done in-person because they enjoy coming to the space, seeing the familiar faces, being able to speak with their other participants in the class. And that, for many people, they prefer the in-person interaction, whereas distance, it was more so kind of like this virtual setting here. And we know that for many people, technology may not be the best for many people, and with their technology, it was very difficult. And you don't get the sense of interpersonal you would in person. So for us, I do have experience with delivering in person and also virtual as well. Virtual, also known as distance learning.
Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry that Mr. Ronald, that he left, because he spoke about having 25 participants that recently graduated, and
Yes.
you know, I wanted to hear more about that. And like that is
Yes.
within, you know, that members from our community actually could probably participate in that, because really, we want this program to be effective, and I'm asking everyone to share and to let them know that they can access this video and the information that's needed on CB14 Brooklyn's website and the YouTube channel as well, because we really want to lessen the disparities within the northern section of our community, because a lot of, you know, we have a lot of issues there that really the folks who are living there need a lot of help. So I'm truly thankful for your presentation, for the information that you've brought. And I just wanted to say that. Thank you. And thanks, Sean, and everybody else who participated, those who are here, and, you know, those who made it possible. Thanks to my co-chair as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And I can say that in terms of just the Kings County graduation, I had the opportunity and the privilege to be able to go to the graduation and see it. And as I mentioned before, as Ronald mentioned, I do provide technical support and helping him with just ensuring that the implementation of the national DPP at Kings County is efficient. Any questions that he has, he always reaches out to me. And just to be able to see it from my standpoint as kind of like an admin and seeing just the encouraging words and just everyone's testimonial about the impact of the program, it was very rewarding, and it just shows that, you know, a little goes a long way, and it's very nice to just to hear everyone speak about the impact that the National Diabetes Program did for them and how Kings County provided many resources to them while they were participating in the program. So it's really a beautiful program, and I think that many individuals, they get different experience, and also they create new friendships as well with the other participants that are joining.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lima, for this wonderful presentation and being our first presenter for the Health and Wellness Lunch and Learn series sponsored by Community 14. As we're entering the new year, I know many people have resolutions around health and wellness. And so this is a great way to kick off the new year, the month of January, by joining us every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. for our Lunch and Learns. We'll be back next week, and we'll have presentations over the course of the next 4 weeks on diabetes care and nutrition, healthy lifestyles, and maternal health disparities. So I would encourage everyone to please invite as many members of their network to join the Lunch and Learns, and to also review the recordings and resources that Ms. Lima will be sharing with us on the CB14 Brooklyn website. Ms. Campbell, Ms. Changajada, do you have any final words or comments before we wish everyone a good afternoon?
Just echoing your thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. We'll see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. for our next session. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.